Today's breakfast meeting on the theme, Promoting Business Integrity and Anti-Corruption in Ghana, the Role of the Private Sector, brings together representatives of the private sector, trade associations, civil society organizations, and public sector institutions to exchange and discuss best practices implementing business integrity and anti-corruption measures in Ghana. Overall, GII seeks to create a platform for a cross-section of stakeholders to identify emerging issues hampering the private sector and the ease of doing business in Ghana, as well as map out strategies for policy advocacy and reforms. The private sector has and continues to be referred to as the engine of growth for most economies across the globe, a notion that is widely appreciated. It is believed that successful businesses drive growth, create jobs, and pay the taxes that finance services and investments. In developing countries, the private sector is particularly known to generate a huge proportion of jobs, fund almost all investments, and provide a remarkable percentage of government revenues. Unfortunately, one major challenge to private sector-led growth and development is the menace of corruption that continues to impede the effectiveness of the sector. Transparency International postulates that over $1.26 trillion is lost to developing countries every year through cross-border corruption, foreign bribery, tax evasion, and related illicit financial flows. This presents a huge challenge to realizing the 2030 developmental agenda of the UN Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, ensuing from the above, it behoves on the private sector to do an introspection and adopt the three-pronged approach postulated by Transparency International to fight the menace of corruption effectively. Firstly, companies can take internal steps to prevent corruption. Every company needs a zero-tolerance policy towards bribery and corruption. This must be enforced through specific anti-corruption measures spelled out, including an anti-bribery code, business principles for countering bribery, to mention a few. Secondly, companies also need an honest operating environment. We must make sure that governments enforce international anti-bribery laws and conventions. This protects companies from corruption across borders and down supply chains. This means more transparency from everyone involved within the value chain. Finally, we must hold business people to account for their actions. We must call on companies and institutions that regulate them to report their finances and actions openly. This shows staff, investors, and consumers that they are committed to clean business, thereby breeding trust in our systems.